You know, I'm kind of a stray dog when it comes to this sort of thing.
Architecture is covered in art books, but being a functional form, you know, it's also kind of overlooked in the art museum.
I can hold it like that.
Previously on the season, we were backstage for the historic 90th season for Amarillo Little Theater, charting its highs and its lows. This season, we're exploring the world of visual art on and off the walls at Amarillo Museum of Art. Join us as we learn more about the most public and most overlooked form of art in episode 1 of the season, AMoA.
You know, the art objects themselves kind of sometimes can be overcome by what their function is.
Architecture is all around you, literally. It's the building block for the structures you work or live in. But how many people think of it as art? That's the underlying purpose to Amarillo Museum of Art's new Biennial 600 exhibition, which closes October 1st.
The biennial is based on this idea of a 600-mile radius of Amarillo in order to participate. Yeah, we had covered a lot of materials. The biennial's always been based on either particular material or medium.
Previous exhibitions have covered drawing, glass, and most recently, sculpture. But architecture took the museum to uncharted territory.
Yeah, I knew it would be diverse and more of an exhibition of ideas as opposed to objects, like say paintings or sculpture. Well, I think, you know, when you look at an object, you are kind of brought to that in terms of looking at a painting or sculpture. You bring your own sensibility and your own experience to what that might mean. And so when you look at architecture and you look at this exhibition, you kind of get that same sense, but then the architects have drawn out what this is that you're looking at. And so the idea is kind of presented both to you as the viewer, but also being architecture and being very kind of functional in its in what they are doing with their buildings, because ultimately they're occupied space and they're interjections on the landscape, and architects think a lot about that. Architecture is covered in art books, but being a functional form, you know, it's also kind of overlooked in the art museum sense, because, you know, these are habitable. Ultimately, they're building for they're working off an idea, but they're building a practical structure. And so, yeah, you know, the art objects themselves kind of sometimes can be overcome by what their function is.
But it struck a chord with artists and architects alike.
So we had almost 500 applicants to the exhibition, which is a huge number. It's the largest number of people and objects that we've had to jury.
Making the selections was acclaimed Oklahoma City architect Rand Elliott, who wasn't sure he was the right fit.
I actually tried to talk him out of it because I said, you know, I'm kind of a stray dog when it comes to this sort of thing, and I'm not you know, a famous person that you would expect to get. He said, no, that's exactly why I called you, is because I wanted sort of an opinion from the edge.
Mm-hmm. I polled a group of architects and artists, and so yeah, his name just seemed to rise to the top of these conversations, and I think he did an incredible job.
The resulting show mixes sculpture, photography, drawing, and computer renderings.
Seeing such an amazing variety of interpretations of what that can be. Some more on the artistic side, some more on the architectural side, some kind of in between, and some just out there, which is really wonderful, and it makes you enthusiastic about the human being and the human mind and how creativity works. I don't know that I had an expectation other than I was hoping that there would be some provocative things, some things that would really stop to make us think about where we are in society and the position we are in life and location and environment, and sort of a response to what's going on in the world, which is exciting on the one hand, scary on the other. And so I think we see all of that. We see real optimism and beauty. I felt like that I saw people struggling with trying to use their emotions and put them on paper. And I think that's a very powerful and humanly thing, to be able to do that.
A lot of these ideas are projects that, say, people have not had, you know, not been able to build, you know, or their ideas on architecture, on living space, or on commercial space, or land use, ideas that are not readily available or funded. And so a lot of things that are still in the idea stage. You know, the architects have worked them out, and there's details and there's ideas and overarching themes of what the project would be, but it's all, you know, it's all kind of hypothetical. You know, the mundane things like electrical transmission poles, you know, just a simple redesign or a tweak on that could make those very interesting. You know, ways that you could build in shade and kind of public spaces that are more comfortable to be in the summer, or maybe generate heat in the winter, things like that that really affect the person that's going into them.
The exhibition inspired a family fun day in August, encouraging children to play at a variety of hands-on projects. If those activities, or just seeing the exhibition in general, plants a seed that blossoms into a future architect, one who places a premium on creativity, that would be a wonderful bonus, Elliott said.
It is unfortunate that probably out of every 10 great projects that are 10 projects that are built, maybe one is a great one, and that the remainder are average or something above average. And it should be the other way. It should be that there are more and better projects around. It would like to think that exhibitions like this inspire architects and artists and the public in general to believe that there is more. There's a higher level. There's a higher bar that we can create that makes life and our environments and cities better for their existence.
Panhandle PBS and The Season will follow Amarillo Museum of Art throughout 2017 and 18. Up next, we'll delve into the museum's extensive vault to visit its permanent collection. The Season is brought to you in part with support from Park Central and Realty Central of Amarillo, with additional support from Krause Landscape Contractors and the Amarillo Convention and Visitors Council Arts Committee.